All right, everybody, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Kala should be on here shortly. Before we get started, we have to go through the laundry list of let you guys know what's going on, laundry list of announcements, so you guys could be in the loop of everything. First off, 3 tours. March 20th to the 26th, 1 year anniversary of my coronation in Nigeria. So if you want to roll to Nigeria with us, you still have time. March 20th to the 26th. Then we have another tour, August 13th to the 19th. That is also Nigeria. If you guys want to roll, let me know for the Oshun Festival. For the Oshun Festival, August 13th to the 19th, Nigeria. Come with us. We're going to have an awesome time, a great time. Then we have the Black Sit and Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru collaboration, Sierra Leone, December 4th through the 12th. Well, we leave on the 4th, head to Sierra Leone, then head back December 12th. So if you guys want to roll, come and roll. Have a great time, guys. So that's what's going on. Also, too, Africa Personified Africa. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Africa Personified Africa. I need everyone who watches this stream, okay? I need all my supporters. Dynast, we support you. Dynast, we love what you're doing. Dynast, keep it going. Dynast, don't get discouraged. Dynast, we got you. Go to Africa Personified Africa. Again, Africa Personified Africa. Go to shop, okay, and buy a print. Now, these are all my own personal photos. If you guys follow me on social media, I've been traveling to Africa since 2011. So I have a collection of photos. I'm going to add more soon, but I have a collection. And when I say collection, I have a collection of photos. So, people, if you're decorating your home and you want prints and art all over your home, please consider Africa. Please consider Africa Personified Africa. Go to shop, buy some photos. If there's something something custom you want, please let me know. You go to Africa Personified Africa, send me an email, or just go to dynastmirror.com and send me an email there. But please support. Also, too, let me share this with you guys as well. Hey, Kala, we got to come to the chat, man. You got to come on. I mean, we live, Kala. We need you on the show. We're live. Also, to share screen one more time. Guys, I want you guys to go to Amazon.com. I want you to go to Amazon.com, type the name Dynasty Mirror, type in Dynasty Mirror, and buy a book. This is my bookstore. All of these books have been written by me. They are in electronic format, but I am working on getting them transferred and converted to physical format as well. So you can have an electronic copy, have access to electronic copy, and also have access to a physical copy. So go to Amazon.com, Dynasty Mirror, in the search. All my books will come up. Go to my bookstore. Guys, I would greatly appreciate it. I am working on new projects as well. Basically, I'm putting together a media company. So support, again, everyone's always Dynasty. We love you. We support you. We do this for you. We do that for you. We want to do this for you. Well, go buy an actual tangible product of mine and, show your support. So hopefully Kala is in the house now. There he goes. There you go. Shout out to Kala, everybody.
Hello.
Kala,
Dennis. What's going on, brother? Hey, what's going on, brother?
you live in HD. You live in HD.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks for having me. It's been a long while. First time on live in the new year.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Just
Yeah, it's
travel
been a
and
minute.
schedule. So we here. We
Yeah.
in here.
Okay. Yeah, we're gonna have a good show. We got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, about this topic that we've been talking about this for a few weeks now.
Right.
And like I said, when I first came, I'm gonna sound long-winded, but I'm gonna give people a background on this. I first came on social media in 2006. Right. The first thing I talked about was the image of Black America and how we are living in the neo-minstrel age. I wrote a blog called in 2007 called "The Devil and David Banner," and it was basically just saying that rappers, people who have talent, will sell their souls. They don't see the damage they're doing to our culture and to who we are as a people. Some people say, "Well, are we really a people?" But when push comes to shove, when they ask something about Black America, right, the go-to people now are the rappers in the entertainment industry. They don't ask. I mean, they don't. You don't ever see Umar Johnson on a major network talk about something. I mean, we have disagreements about him or whatever like that. He's controversial, but he's never on there. You never hear anybody that have any knowledge about what's going on in the community. What we have is rappers, and that's what we have to this day. Uh, Black America, we're often judged by the lowest common denominator. It's like we live good lives, whatever like that. People are exceptional. There's people winning every day in Black America, but that doesn't matter. We just gloss that over. When somebody does something bad, or somebody's doing something foolishness or buck dancing, and all of a sudden that becomes the face of Black America. And that's how it is. And we as Black people accept that because we're too scared to sit up and say, no, that's not who we are. Because let's be honest with you, we don't know who we are. We go by what the media tells us we are, right? The media tells us we're thugs, gangsters, and deadbeat dads and all stuff like that. We just go along with it. Yeah, we don't question it. We don't say, well, geez, in my family, we're doing pretty well. My dad took care of me. I take care of my kids, whatever like that. We just go along with the narrative, right? And it's a white supremacist narrative. And tonight I'm going to talk about, as we talk about Black America. Now, I say this. This is not any attempt to excuse all the stuff that's going on in Black America. We know we got problems. We know we got crime. We know we have just all these type of problems. But we also have a lot of things that's going on good in Black America. But we're not allowed to talk about any other group of people, Black people, right? We don't allow to talk about Nigerians, right? While we go, oh, you're against Nigerians. We're not allowed to talk about Haitians. No, we're against Haitians. But when it comes to Black America, it seems like everybody has an opinion on us, but we can't talk about anybody else. So tonight we're going to talk about why that is, and also we're going to talk about why these movements have failed in Black America. It failed, and why I don't really believe in so-called Black organizations per se.
Hey,
Because,
Kyla, what happened to Black Lives Matter?
well, like I said this 5 years ago. I called that 5 years ago. Now, my brother Mahoudin, that was the dude that was killed in New Orleans. Remember that Black Lives Matter guy that got killed in New Orleans a few years ago?
Right.
He was from Charleston, South Carolina. He was with my brother Shaquem, right? He's the one that jumped up and pulled down the Confederate flagpole. Remember that thing?
Yeah.
He jumped across the thing, right? But he was found killed in New Orleans. He was one of the originators of Black Lives Matter, right?
Right.
But and not to beat a dead horse about the LGBTQ, there was people that infiltrated the Black Lives Matter with their own ulterior motives, to promote the LGBTQ. I called that out back then. I said, something's not right about this. I read the Black Lives Matter so-called manifesto, right?
Right. Anti everything male.
Everything male. I said, well, what does this have to do with Black Lives Matter? So in other words, basically, I said to myself, Black Lives Matter was lauded as this Black movement that's here to talk about Black people. We're going to talk about Black America and everything. And the people who were leading it, who the media decided to make the face of it, were disingenuous. They had they didn't care about Black Lives Matter. It was just a rallying point to get fame, to get fortune, to get notoriety and everything else. And nobody really cared about the basic issue, because the end result of that was nothing happened in Ferguson. Nothing really happened with Eric Garner and Philando Castile. Alton, what's it? The guy that got shot in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Nothing ever happened with these things. And like I said, they know black people have a short attention span, right?
Hey, Kyler, real quick. You know, ADOS has been real quiet as well.
Of course, you know, everybody, like I said, and I'm going to get to that, why ADOS is great. I'm going to talk about that too. All these hashtag movements, right? They come and they go, right? Because people are trying to, you cannot run a movement or start or with just a hashtag. You have to be really serious and have real concrete aims. And I always said there's 5 different points, like we was talking about this week, that when you talk about a hashtag or a movement and everything, if you were really actually serious and everything, these 5 things have to be in place. One is what you're doing has to be reasonable. Number 2, it has to be logical. Number 3, attainable. Number 4, practical. Number 5, it has to be pragmatic. If it don't fit in those 5 criteria, then you're wasting your time. And too many people.
Okay, so it's not just me. Hey, Kyler, you sound low.
Okay, hold up.
I thought it was just me. I'm glad you guys said something. I thought it was just me.
Okay, I don't know how to. Jeez.
Well, I mean, just keep going. Just keep going.
Okay. All right. No, what
that's
I'm
better.
saying.
That's better. As you're close to that's better now.
Okay. All right. Now the whole thing is this. Now I said those 5 things, right? And when you take the reparations movement, right? Is the reparations movement in the political climate of America today reasonable? No. Is it logical? No. Is it attainable? Absolutely not. Is it practical? No. Is it pragmatic? No. Now we could talk about reparations, everything. We could scream about everything like that. But as far as like moving it to the table where it could actually accomplish something, if it doesn't have those 5 things and everything, it's not going anyplace. All the things like Black Lives Matter, was that reasonable? Okay, it was reasonable. Black Lives Matter, right? It was logical, yes. Attainable. How can you attain that? So what are you going to do about that? You know, a person's dead. You can't bring them back to life. Was it practical? Yes. Okay, Black Lives Matter. Okay, that's practical, right? But like I said, what the Black Lives Matter is, the people that were running Black Lives Matter were disingenuous, okay? And then you have to have an end game. What do you want to see as a result of your activism? Okay, we never got that from Black Lives Matter. What is your end game? What's your end goal? You know, what do you want to do? And we did. We got a Black Lives Matter manifesto. A woman should have all the money she wants, right? Women should be protected from men. Men should not be in the home. All these kind of things like that, you know? Right. So when you read the manifesto, then you go back and look at it, right? Was that reasonable? No. Was that logical? No. Was that attainable? No. Was that practical? No. Was it in a sense of pragmatism? No. But still, though, people are going to be left and right. Okay, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Why did it go away? Because when you look at what the end goal was, it was none of those 5 things. If it was not one of those 5 things, you were just wasting your time. So the next time some hashtag comes around and everything, you take those 5 things and you sit back and think, are these things reasonable, logical, attainable, practical, and pragmatic? If they're not those 5 things and everything, then you know the person that's doing that, either they're stupid or they're trying to get money out of you, or they're leading you down the primrose path, or you're being led by a bunch of charlatans. So that's what's happening in Black America. And then the outset is this: the fact of the matter is, anyone could get up and speak on behalf of Black America without our consent. You know, we saw this thing with the Kobe Bryant situation. Okay, now everybody's coming at Kobe Bryant, talking about. First of all, let's talk about Kobe Bryant. He was cleared of all charges. Right. Okay, he was cleared of all charges, right? But everybody want to talk about his rape case. You know, see, the dominant media don't want to come out and talk about that, right? So what they do is they get their handlers like the Gayle Kings and everybody, Oprah's, to do that dirty work for them, okay? Snoop Dogg comes out and says, you know, F Gayle King, I guess it made a threat to her or whatever like that. And the backlash he got, right? I thought Snoop was a gangster from Long Beach, whatever.
Long Beach Crips.
Long Beach Crips. I thought he was a gangster, I thought he was bad, man. This ain't no thing. And he said, "My mama told me not to do that," he said, "My mama told me to like that." I was like, "Where was Snoop's mama?" Right? She's living,
Yeah, when he was gang banging,
and holding women, bringing women out in chains on the on leashes and shit like that, and doing all this kind of pornography and all this kind of degrading black women and whatnot. Where was his mama then? But like I said, black people, like I said, we don't stand for anything, right? A few months from now, Snoop knows this will blow over, right? And he'll be back on Martha Stewart saying my shizzle, my nizzle, and everything. And I love Snoop. You ever see these white people when they see Snoop? I love me some Snoop and whatnot. I love me some Snoop and whatnot. That's all. Like I said, these entertainers, right? If you took Jay-Z and Beyonce, right, and told them, I was like, I didn't watch the Oscars, right? I don't care about that, right? But I happened to be going across my timeline, right? And somebody put something about the Oscars up. And I said, well, this is one thing Jay-Z and Beyonce can't be any part of, right? And next thing you know, I see Beyonce and Jay-Z after party Oscar. I'm like, what the hell? I said, Colin, you a hater, man. You a hater. I'm not saying, no, I'm not a hater, right? Look, I'm not a hater. Man. Just crush a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, why is it that these people, the chosen people, have to be in every last single situation? It's the Grammys. Jay-Z and Beyonce, up there. It's the Global Awards, Jay-Z and Beyonce, MTV Music Awards, Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z and Beyonce everywhere. They're the go-to thing. The Super Bowl, Jay-Z and Beyonce in box seats and everything. These are the people that they know that's going to keep Black America under control, right? Because the thing that they hate the most is, they're scared the most is Black people losing interest in the white man's institutions. The Super Bowl and the NFL is an institution. Despite all the Colin Kaepernick hooping and hollering, and we're gonna rise up and take over the NFL. All that stuff like that went out the door. Why? Because they control the narrative, right? They control the entertainers, right? The entertainers tell you, okay, shut up now, let's get back on the field and run down the field. It's time to do that, and that's where Black America is at right now. And this is why, really, when it comes down to it, despite it being like probably one of the most powerful, influential groups of people on the planet, Black America, we are incredibly weak, when it comes to defining ourselves. We can't even make a decision about, well, who are we going to vote for this election? They've already decided. If you're Black, you better vote Democrat. You better vote Democrat.
No matter
what.
You know what's crazy, Colin? So the same. This is what I don't understand. Like, the same people who were so pro Hillary,
yeah,
they're anti Michael Bloomberg, and I'm saying to myself, what's the difference?
There's no difference.
Yeah.
Like I said, right now, like I told you, we have a new word for this, right? It's called chicken bucket politics, chicken hot sauce bucket politics. Right? You go around with the bucket of chicken to Black events and whatnot, pass out the chicken, pass out the hot sauce, pass out some ribs and whatnot, put an envelope in some Black leader's hands, and next thing you know, Michael Bloomberg is the best thing since sweet potato pie. That's just basically what it is. All sins are forgiven, right? And I heard like I said, I'm glad I wasn't living in New York at the time, right? I can't imagine being a Black man in New York and when the police just decide to stop and frisk you. Right. And it's all about making sure the Black man in New York. It's always been like that in New York, right? And people think New York is some liberal city. That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
It's always
Colin, I tell people, for example, I lived in Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles was by far the most racist city I ever lived in. Yeah. Worked in some of these, and I'm in the deep. I'm in Georgia. I'll be with the rednecks and hillbillies. Los Angeles, California was by far the worst.
Same thing in New York City. Why? Because it has to do with power. It's a power dynamic. White people are first and foremost white. Before they're liberal, before they're Democrat, before they're Republican, they're white. And I knew that growing up in New York. A white person is a white person. It doesn't really matter. And the bottom line is they have the police, they have the courts, they have the district attorney's office. They have all those things to make sure that you don't ever get out of line, and that's what it is. And they control the jobs, they control everything. They control the media in New York, everything, and they basically went off, a thing is they crushed all Black media and urban media, because that's the only really voice we had in the mainstream for generations. We had Black radio. That's all gone, Now it's we have a hip hop radio, we have Revolt TV, we have all these things that's compromised, and the only thing we really have, to tell you the truth, is social media. This is the last thing where you'll hear black opinion, right? Unfiltered black opinions right here on social media, because the media does not represent us. Nobody talks about the stuff we talk about on social media. You look at the Negro Manosphere and all these other people, BGS, where all these other people that's on social media and everything like that. The topics that black men talk about and care about and everything is never in the dominant media. And the media has it so that it seems like black men don't care about anything, but black men do care about stuff. We have discussions about politics. We have discussions about the world. We have opinions on the coronavirus. We have opinions on illegal aliens, but nobody wants to hear our opinions on illegal aliens. All it is like today, yesterday, I had a thing. That's another thing they're doing, is they're invading black social media sites, right? You're in that group, Diane, so I wish you could post more in there. Vintage African American history. You see that? Yeah, you're in there. I add you to there. I know you don't do a lot on Facebook, but I add you to that group, right? Beautiful pictures. They show pictures of Harlem in the 1930s, and something that we could bond around. They say, well, people so dressed nice back then, and so it's a beautiful experience when you see black people from the 60s, people showing their grandparents and stuff like that. Beautiful. 140,000, real big social media platform where black people could discuss their history and everything. We're supposed to be a safe space, right? But no, that can't happen. Now you got white people in there pushing Bernie Sanders talking points, talking about Kamala Harris, talking about all this stuff like that. I'm like, why are you in here? Well, are you a racist? I'm like, no, I'm not a racist, but I'm saying you have all these things, and I'm a white man. Well, what if I told you that you couldn't? I said, I don't go to white social media sites. I don't go on the white social media. I don't really know where they're at. So what the heck do I care about if I'm not going to be allowed in somebody's white? I'm not going to go into Breitbart or even the left-wing Daily Kos. I don't go into these sites, right? Because I know they're for white people. They're not for me, right? So why do they feel that it's necessary to monitor and what we talk about and everything? It's a site that's a group that's for vintage African American history, showing the beauty of Black America and stuff like that. Back in the days, 50s and 60s and some in the 19th century, and I'm like, wow, So, but you got white people in there. I said, look, if you're gonna be white in here, just enjoy the pictures and shut the hell up, right? That's racist, Colin. That's racist, Colin. Didn't what Martin Luther King? I said, I don't give a damn what you think Martin Luther King fought for. I don't think Martin Luther King fought for our image and everything like that being controlled by white people, or we not having any safe spaces and everything. As I recall, Martin Luther King went to an all-black church. Am I lying, Dinus?
No, I've been to the church. It's right up the street from my house.
It's black, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's black. Yeah.
All right. So Martin Luther King supposedly stood for integration and colorblindness. Why does he have a black church still? So in other words, basically, when it comes down to power and us having something, right? We're not allowed to have that. We're not allowed to have power. We're not allowed to be in spaces where we could talk about our opinions and stuff like that. But when it comes down to them, it's like we got to come with this kumbaya stuff and everything like that. And all that does is tries to weaken Black America from itself, and so we don't want to feel like we're racist and everything. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, in these days and times and everything, I think a little bit of racism in Black America would probably be a survival mechanism, because the bottom line is this: everybody else is bunkering down and trying to protect their own. The Latinos, the Mexicans, the Spanish people, they're about trying to protect Team Latino, right? The Asians about Team Asians. They're unapologetic for it. When it comes to us, we have to be, we got to understand. We came a long way and everything like that. You're negative and everything. You're negative. That black stuff and whatnot, man. You holding everybody back and everything like that. So, and it comes down to the elections right here. I don't tell people who to vote for. No, Colin. You see on my page, right? We got to vote blue. I said, whoa, slow the fuck down here. Look, I go way back. Tell my age right here. My first vote was in 1988, right? I voted for Michael Dukakis, right? because, like I said, there was a black agenda back then. You know, you had Maynard Jackson, you had Ron Brown, you had all these people. They had things on the table, black set asides for businesses and everything, enterprise zones, all that stuff like
Well,
that.
with that being said, guys, there's a documentary on Maynard Jackson on Netflix. Excellent documentary. You guys,
I gotta see that. I gotta get that.
Yeah, it was an excellent documentary. He wasn't playing.
Yeah,
Like he wasn't playing. Like
he was not
like
playing.
the way
He was about
the
black
white
power.
The white banks hated him. Like he was like he wasn't playing.
Yeah, so the bottom line, I bet you 10 people in the chat room know who Maynard Jackson was.
Yeah, but the thing is, he kind of flipped it a little bit in order to get the Olympics to come to Atlanta. He had to kind of turn it down, but before that, he wasn't playing.
Yeah, he got the airport there. He built the airport. You know what I'm saying? He brought businesses from overseas. He said white corporations were going to redline Atlanta and not bring business there. You know what he did? He went to Germany, Sweden, and all these other countries and said, "Hey, look, you know, we have the largest airport in the country right now. We're going to build it right here. You know, we have Atlanta is access to all the cities right here on the eastern United States and everything. You grow your business here, you'll grow." And it worked, right?
Right.
Give black people jobs and everything like that. And that's why we had the Atlanta child murders. Black people, white people don't like black success. You know what I'm saying? Black success, if you look at any lynchings in history, it always had to do with black success. So this idea that, okay, if you clean up the hood, if you tell the thugs and everything stop thugging, that racism is going to go away, that's not true. That's not true at all. You know, racism is there because this is what this country was built on, right? So no matter whether you're a blue-collar Ivy League guy or somebody down there unemployed, right, you're going to still face the same racist hell in America. It's but what you do with that racist hell. You try to survive in the midst of that, you know? Serenity means not freedom from the storm, but it means peace and tranquility amidst the storm. That means all the hell's going on, but we're still surviving. And that's what the story of the African American is. Despite everything, we survive, you know? And we look for things to get better and we try to work with each other. All we basically have to do is be among ourselves and start working together and everything. Start taking our liberation more seriously. You know, when Dynasty has these shows with Brother Fitzgerald Stevens.
Brother Fitzgerald's in the chat room, by the way.
Yeah, right with Brother Stevens. You know, dynamic brother, you know. Get involved with that, you know. Listen to that, support that. You know, we have a lot of people out there that's doing stuff. But a lot of our people are not serious about, getting themselves together. You know, it's not going to be easy. You know, you got to take some time and do some work, but that's what you have to do. You know, so we have to put a better face on Black America. And we look at this rapper, what's his name, Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke.
Yeah, I got killed, right? You know. Right. And I'm debating with one of my brothers.
Right? I don't, Kyle, let me ask you this. I don't understand, like, what? I'll give you an example. So in Liberia, right?
Right.
Do you see anybody celebrating the Civil War?
No.
In Sierra Leone, do you see anybody celebrating the Civil War?
No, because they take themselves seriously. They know Liberians remember that Civil War.
Because I can't imagine General Butt Naked, coming out with a CD talking about how he was.
If he came to New York, of course they'll sign him up tomorrow. He'll have a record at the end.
He'll cover talk about how he was chopping heads off in Monrovia.
He would go platinum in like about a week. No lie. He would go platinum in a week. No lie, you know what I'm saying? That's what we have, because the bottom line is this, and I don't want to buy the stuff that's just Black culture. No, white people are controlling Black culture.
Of course,
if somebody tells me that this is Black culture, I'll smack them right in the head. I was there when I came up, white people didn't listen to hip hop, right? So we had Big Daddy Kane, we had KRS-One. And we had Rakim, we had Run DMC, we had all these other MCs and everything, like Coogee Rap and everything like that. White people weren't listening to our music, right? And so therefore, like Rakim said this, he said, look, even though Rakim was a god, but he was part thug too, But he said, Rakim could have sold out. He said, look, man, they asked me to make a gangster music, but I wouldn't do it. He said, I don't want to give that to my people. You know what I'm saying? I could have made millions of dollars. He could have went the Snoop Dogg route, you know? But he said, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell out, you know? And it's a pressure to sell out Black America. Why? Because the people that's running the American industry, right? It's like this. When you look at urban radio, right? I don't listen to urban radio where I live. I don't listen to it, you know, at all. You know, I didn't know who Pop Smoke was until he died. They'll have these rappers that get killed. I don't know them until they die.
What's so fortunate? The cat is only 20. I can't, like, when I was 20 years old, I was in college. Right. I was a sophomore at University of Georgia. Like, it's just.
Yeah. So the whole thing is this. From what I hear, he's talented, you know? He's talented, right? But the thing is, when he got killed, hours before he got killed, he was in his car, and I guess one of his boys had a stack of money, you know, like a 14-inch stack of money, $100 bill. It must have been a couple $100,000 in his hand, you know? So in other words, he put that on Instagram. So I guess there's somebody said, yo, man, this dude, he has no bodyguards, no whatever like that. We're going to go take this dude, you know? And they're going to try to say it wasn't a robbery. What would they go in there? What would they kill this dude for? And say, oh, well.
You're saying it's gang related.
It's gang related and everything. Like he says, gang related and everything like that. So I'm like, you know, this kind of nonsense.
But kind of another twist to the story, like interesting plot to the story. Like, I used to live in LA.
Right.
They killed him in the Hollywood Hills. Like, the Hollywood Hills is very hard to navigate. So it's just, and like the way the houses are built, like you don't really have a lot of them. You don't have really direct access to them. Like, it's just is it long driveways or gated? Like, it's
gated and whatnot. It's hard to get to. Yeah, I've seen images of that before. I was like, yeah, that seems kind of strange. Either somebody set him up. You know what I'm saying? He was supposed to meet somebody was expecting somebody, and somebody else came and shot and killed him, whatever like that. Or he could have been involved in something else. It could have been retaliation. You know, we don't know. But like I said, 20 years old and everything, his life is gone. Was it really all that worth it?
No.
No, was it really all that worth it? Just sad. And that goes across the whole world, right? Look, another rapper killed, black kid from America killed, whatever like that. You know, you don't see Toby Keith and these other shooting each other and killing each other.
Billy Ray Cyrus
and whatnot. They don't have this. Billy Ray Cyrus ain't gonna roll up on Toby Keith and shoot him. You know, have a gang beef, whatever like that. You know, it's and like I said, what it is they're playing Black America for fools. You know why? Because this is what it is, right? During the Jim Crow era, right? Black men were fools, right? Because that's what made white people complacent. You know, white people see you and all the thing you got is a weed in your hand and money and flashing your Rolex watch. Oh, see, he's all about the money and the Rolex and all the stuff like that. The Benz, the Bentleys, and all stuff like that. You know, so we don't have to worry about him politically. We don't have to worry about him taking over and everything like that. We know he can be controlled by what? Materialism. You know, and that's what Black America, the face of Black America is. But I know that's not the real Black America. You know, that's the real Black America really care about stuff. You know, we care about things in our community. We care about education. We care about these things that's going on, the environment, whatever. But you know, the face of Black America has always been foolishness. You know, That's what it is. That's where we're at right now in Black history. You know, and so like I said, on my Facebook page and everything like that, I really did a whole lot for Black History Month this year. You know, I put a lot of material out there, and I was basically, I think, Brian Brown, good to see you. Everybody in the chat room, good to see you too. I'm glad to be back on, and I have an announcement to make. I'm going to be having my own radio show coming up, you know, soon. It's going to be on a large platform. You know, it's going to be a continuation of the Voice of the Colored Nation radio show, which I started back in 2009. It ran to 2015, right? It was, I have something like almost 500 episodes. You can go look it up. And so therefore, that's what started this social network that we created, the Black African Infrastructure Organization we created. And so therefore, I want to build on that, you know, by having a radio platform. You know, it's going to be real radio. And I might have it on YouTube streaming live too. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but you know, I'm here to have a new movement. I think Dynasty's platform is invaluable. I think the work that he does and everything, the Pan-African work that he does and stuff like that, needs to be on a bigger platform. I think it needs more people need to know about what we're doing and what's going on the continent and stuff like that. How we're interrelated. If somebody would have told me 10 years ago that I would be on Facebook and I'm debating Black Americans back and forth about history of Africa, and so many people are now informed about Liberia and Nigeria and South Africa and stuff like, I would have said you're crazy. I would say you're crazy. If I would told me that 10 years ago that there would be a man named Dinas Demir doing Search for Huru and stuff like that, and the Year of Return and all stuff like that, and I would tell you you're crazy. So like I said, this is a new day, a new time, and bigger things are going to happen. 2020 is going to be a transformative year. To just wait and see. But yeah, like I said, our culture in America, why do we have gangs and everything? It's simply because we don't control the context of our reality. And let's be honest with ourselves. Black people, Black men in particular, we're afraid of these gangs and thugs. We're afraid of them.
Yeah.
We're afraid of them. You know what I'm saying? Because see, you understand something. If you're a law,
you got cats. This is what's crazy, Kala. Back when I was in high school, in elementary school and junior high, we used to have push-up contests, like get swole during the summertime. Now these cats used to be skinny, super skinny, walking around with 9mm with extendo clips. Ass hanging out their pants. Like, I mean, what do you
yeah, they're basically saying this is another thing. They're basically, the gangs are basically saying and stuff like that. They're saying fuck you to Black American society.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, basically what happened was the idea of, like I said, Marcus Garvey told us, right? He warned us that this was going to happen, and we didn't want to listen to that. We didn't want to listen to that. We as Black people in America, African Americans, in a particular peculiar situation, worse than, even though there's a Black middle class, we got Black middle, we don't say that. But we're in a more vulnerable situation than any other group of Black people on earth. Why? Because we're living in a society that we're dominated. While the dominant society benefits from our destruction, and the dominant society have no intention or don't have the willpower to basically give us what we need to give people a better life and other options and everything. They fought Martin Luther King, Whitney Irving Young, Malcolm X, and Elijah Muhammad, and everybody else tooth and nail. They did everything they can to sabotage Malcolm X. They did everything they can to sabotage Garvey. They did everything they can to sabotage even Bill Cosby. Anybody that's doing something in Black America, these people come at us with all their might and all their force and everything. And then when it falls down, they say, "What's wrong with Black people? What's wrong with your people?" and everything. But we don't say, "Well, why you been waging war against us since we got on these shores? You've been terrorizing us." I was watching a documentary on the Black Wall Street, a thriving Black community, wasn't bothering nobody, burned to the ground, but I guess that's our fault. Wilmington, North Carolina, right? Whites came from several states away to overthrow a sitting government down there because they heard that some Black men were walking hand in hand down the street with white women and stuff like that. They came and burned Wilmington to the ground, razed the homes, everything like that. That's a race from history. Forsyth County, Georgia, another massacre. Okay, all over the country, Black communities were terrorized for decades in America, and then they wonder, "Whoa, geez, man, you guys have been here 40 years. Why haven't you did anything?" Okay, that's basically, when people say that, that's basically what you're doing, is you're trying to excuse white people of what they did. Oh, you're making excuses. Okay, all right, okay. So therefore, when the Black people succeed, right, you want to understand, aren't America a great country? Look at how many Black billionaires we got. Look at all these rappers making money. America's so great. But when Black people fail, oh no, that's you're lazy. You're lazy. You're not what you call peace, Jamal. That's you're lazy. You guys are trifling. You guys are good for nothing. All this kind of nonsense that people put in front of us. But we keep striving. We keep doing the best we can. Because like I said, America has it so that everybody comes over here, right? To survive, to be an American, to be in the good graces of America, the first thing you have to do, the first word you have to learn is nigga. You You come off the boat, right? You can come from the biggest shithole country in the world, right? But you come over here and you basically look at these people. Oh, wow, and white people know that the average person that comes over here, right, is going to want to go join Team White Supremacy, Team White America, right? Nobody really wants to join Black America, right? But get this though, right? After telling us that they don't want to be part of us, you're on your own, whatever. Fuck Black America, you're Black. Nobody came out for us doing Black Lives Matter. Nobody said anything. But now, you have a president, Donald John Trump, right, who sees things just a little bit differently, Collar contact quiz. Yeah, put the BAO.
Yeah. Willa's our Nigerians. I mean, our Liberian sister.
Oh yeah, America. Well, yeah. Join the Liberian chapter in our BAO Ning site. That's how you get in contact with me. Join the Ning site and everything like that. And then we'll take care of you. We have a Liberian group in there that's dynamic.
Kyle, I'm gonna give her your cell phone number.
Oh, give my cell phone number.
I'm gonna give you.
In the United States? Is she in America or in Liberia?
In America, in
in Boston. Give my cell phone number.
I stayed with her family when I went to Liberia.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. So hopefully after when I get my passport, I'll be in Liberia soon. When I get my passport, pray everything goes all right, and I get my passport. I got no criminal record or anything like that, but I don't know. Till I get that passport in my hand, now I'm gonna be happy. Or I got the money put away, everything. Just need my passport, my visa, and I'm gone. But what was I say? So like I said, we live in a country where the powers that be, right, don't like us. And we had a new president that came in and said, something, I'm gonna do a game changer here, right? And I don't know if I know he's doing it for his own self, as he's trying to get reelected, whatever like that, Some people believe he's sincere, but he said, something, the first time in my life, he says, Black America, you got nothing to lose. Vote for me. Okay. And it took a little bit of black votes. Now people are saying, well, geez, he let the one lady out of prison, the economy's growing, black people are getting jobs and everything. And some black people say, something, I just might give him my vote. Not a lot, but I just might give him my vote, Man, these people are going crazy. No, you can't do that. Well, you ask your question, well, what does the Democrats, the DNC have done? What do you got proposed? Nothing. The Obama fought for DACA, the illegal aliens, Obama fought for the LGBTQ. There was rainbows on the White House every month. Obama fought for, they said Kennedy made it possible for a man to go to space. Obama made it possible for men to go to women's bathrooms. And so therefore we're saying like, so what do we have to do? What do we have after supporting Bill Clinton? You look at what the Clintons did in Haiti, right? Haiti is a mess because of the Clintons. Haiti used to be self-sufficient in rice production, but Bill Clinton brought his rice buddies down from Arkansas and destroyed the Haitian economy. Okay? So therefore, we got the Clintons, and then we got, not to mention Gaddafi and Hillary Clinton and everything. We saw, he's dead and everything. But we're supposed to be loyal to a party. What I suggest is Black America needs to have their own political party. No one wants to talk about that. How come we don't have our own political party? It's because the bottom line is
hold on, Colin. We got the Black Caucus.
Oh,
Colin, who's been quiet lately? Hold up, Colin. Who's been quiet lately?
Yeah, of course.
Maxine Waters.
Yeah, well, of course they're all quiet because they got nothing to offer. Because you know why? Because she don't want to come out right now and talk about her real constituency, which are the Latinos. That's her real constituency. And she knows we're hyped to that. Social media, we're on to them. It's not called the Congressional Black Caucus. It's called the Congressional Black Caucus. It's nothing but a dead carcass. It does nothing. A carcass of dead coons, congressional coons, And so therefore, this is how it's supposed to work, folks. Your congressman, right? Your congressman, like I said, I don't know what it's like as far as black politics on the federal level, right? Your congressman is who you're who is directly supposed to represent you in the national government, right? You're supposed to change your congressman like you change your underwear, right? Tell me why we have people dying of old age in friggin' office. You know, being a congressman is supposed to be like a two terms, whatever like that, and then you move on to something else to the Senate, or you might run for governor in your state and everything. But the Democratic Party place all these people in positions of power in Black America. You in Black congressional districts, right? You can't even have any competition, right? The DNC. So that's how was that democracy? People are talking about democracy. How's that democracy? They appoint who is going to run in your district, and that's who's going to get the seat. Because in most Black districts is 99.9% Democrat. So it's all whoever the DNC decides they're going to fund, and they're not going to primary. Now the only thing that will get the person kicked out is if they don't do the marching orders of the DNC National Board and the super delegates. If they don't do their marching orders, then they'll primary. But I have never seen a case where a Black congressman was primaried. Have you ever? Do you remember any case?
No.
No, of course not. They leave them there. Why? Because they know those people are because if they ever start primary and getting those Black people like Clyburn out of there, somebody young and radical will probably win and take over. But Black people will vote Democrat, and the worst fear is that Black people avoid the Democratic Party, right, and put up their own political party in these districts and everything, and have their own agenda. You know, that's what I thought 25 years ago. We'd have our own political parties and stuff like that, and we could send our own representative directly to Congress and everything, and then we could bargain with whoever is to bring the bacon back home to the majority Black districts. But that never happened. You know. It's year after year, they're saying the same old thing. And then when you try to question them about it, right? We got to get rid of this. Years ago, they told us we had to get rid of George W. Bush, right? I thought that was going to be the end all be all. We got to get rid of George W. Bush. John Kerry lost. Okay, then Barack Obama came around, right? First they were like, no, we can't have Obama. We got to have Hillary. Black people broke with that and went with Obama. So we voted for Obama twice. And okay. 8 years, we just got to see a Black president, beautiful family in the White House and everything like that. I was happy. I was like, okay, beautiful family. But when it really came down to it, right, when white people did their little stress test on us, right, the Trayvon Martin case, that was a stress test, That's basically white America is telling Black America, even if you got a Black man in the White House, you know what I'm saying, we're still in trouble. We're still in power. We're still in. That's what the whole Trayvon Martin thing was about. Showing Black people all those police killings for the most part happened under Obama's second administration. When Obama won the second time, white America went crazy. We gotta show these niggas, what I'm saying, who's still in charge, who's the boss. And the whole thing is about Obama. He could have went to Florida. He could have sent Eric Holder or whoever, or even that new girl, Loretta Lynch, right, to Florida and investigate. But they wouldn't know what they were thinking about. They said that we might lose Florida for Hillary. So in other words, they're more Democratic than they are for Black people. We can't have that because we're going to anger Floridians, and we might lose Florida in the electoral college. So therefore, we're in a position. So bottom line is this: they tell the word from Obama and everybody else to Black people is y'all should just shut up. Y'all should just be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you gotta protect my legacy. Remember that? You gotta tell. I'm like, nigga, what is your legacy? I said the last 40, his first 3 years of his presidency was okay. I was like, okay, Obama, okay, this and the other thing. I was in the Obama thing too, right? But the last 4 years of his presidency, right? And then instead of dwelling on what's going on in Ferguson and everything like that, no. Justice Department, the Civil Rights Department, or Justice Department were too scared to take on the local prosecutors and local police and everything. And they basically said, Black people, man, y'all just have to sit this out. Yo. And basically at that point, right? Even though I've been a nationalist and everything, that's when it became real to me. That's when it became real to me. I kept seeing police after police getting away with murder. And they always say, well, what about Black on Black crime? Well, we understand about Black on Black crime. We deal with Black on Black crime. As we show, the first half of the show, we talked about Black on Black crime. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about that. People get arrested. People go to jail. It's a problem, whatever. But the thing is, when you have the state that's supposed to protect people, right? You tell us that I'm a citizen, right? Then I should have rights to protect that. I should be able to get justice in the court of law and everything. and that doesn't happen, and you tell the police it's okay to shoot black people at random because you felt threatened and everything, and then the federal government, the most powerful branch of government, says we can't do anything about it, right? Then it dawned on me that yes, I was right all along. It's time for black people to start thinking about nationhood. It's time for black people to think about nationhood, because the bottom line is this: you could be nice and comfortable in your nice house in the suburbs and everything like that. This shit could happen to you. Did you hear that case in Pennsylvania?
Right.
Outside of what city is that? Forgot it. Name me a popular city in Pennsylvania, not PA or not Philadelphia. This black guy, I remember this guy. He's a pharmacist, a doctor, right? He lived in South Africa. He owns a company in South Africa. Him and his wife were driving home. Just got back in the country, driving home, right? And he was driving on his block, right? And a rookie cop pulled him and his wife. His daughter was sleeping, right? College kid was sleeping. Pulled him out of the car at gunpoint. Now this is a guy. He did everything America tells you should do. A doctor. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of black people. When those type of black people get racism, all you hear, yeah, you thought you was this. You thought we're sick people. Instead of being angry, just like you were when you heard about the kid in Ferguson, right? A lot of black people are like, well, yeah, well, see, they can get it too, and everything like that. As a sick people, we accept oppression. You should be just as mad at the injustice done to that family as you do to somebody getting gunned down for the police in the hood. If we're supposed to be a people and we're all one people, so that's the issue right there. That's the issue.
Well, what happened?
Oh, it was a police officer. He was like the people were backing up. I think on the street. I think he was driving on the street, right? And he said the guy drove too close to the curb, right? And so he pulled the people out at gun. It was an exclusive white neighborhood. It was a real exclusive white neighborhood, right? And this cop was new. And it was I forgot what city. It's in Pennsylvania. The cop was a rookie cop. They put him on administrative leave. I don't know whatever happened with that, but the doctor was. He said he had his wife and his daughter was terrorized. Was cop threatened him with a gun. And then would come out. He said, "I live in this neighborhood." No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Pull them out and put them on the ground at gunpoint to their heads. But that story didn't really go well. Why? Because a lot of us don't really care about when upscale black people happens to them. Why? Because we're saying, we want to, crabs in a barrel mentality. Well, you're just like one of us now. Who do you think you are when you live in that white neighborhood? Some people even went to the far as saying, if he would have stayed in a black neighborhood and whatnot, it wouldn't have happened. What kind of mess is that? What kind of mess is that? Pete Chabot live wherever he wants to live and everything. And this guy lived in Africa. He has a business. A pharmacy company in South Africa. The guy's a Pan-Africanist, He's a doctor, And the bottom line, I remember I read about him in a Black Enterprise magazine years ago. I said, wow, this guy's in South Africa, he's doing his thing. And his company's on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. But all that doesn't matter. The guy has all kinds of MBA degrees from the best universities in America and everything. But that doesn't matter because the fact that he was black in the wrong neighborhood, his neighborhood he paid for. The cop that arrested and did that to him couldn't afford to live in that neighborhood. Right. But yet this guy was put on the ground, And so this is what we do. And like I said, white people look at this, right? And they're saying, and I know white people how they think. They would never be in a situation where a black cop could do that to them. Never happen. It'll never happen. A black cop.
The case in Minnesota when the white Australian lady was killed by the Somali cop.
That guy got
she got like the highest
settlement, $25 million. Yeah, and on that he got he got 12 years.
Something like that.
Yeah, 12 years. And then there was another case, right, where you see where the cop smacked the one chick and whatnot. They fired his ass when a black cop, they fired his ass, Yeah. They said, that authority that you think you have when it comes down to white people and everything like that, police brutality, whatnot, And then whatever happened to all the Blue Lives Matter is supposed to rally behind those black cops, you know?
No,
like
nowhere to be found.
Where was Blue Lives Matter at? You know, they nowhere to be found. You know, nowhere to be found or everything like that. Oh, he's just another nigga. Those two cops that killed a white thug in New Orleans. Remember those?
Yeah, they shot the son.
They shot the son.
Right.
You know, they threw them Negroes under the bus. You know what I'm saying? And it was remember the black cops, right? That shot those white couple in North Carolina that was supposed to be a drug deal. They raided the house. I guess they didn't find drugs. Remember they shot the two couple.
Yeah.
And it was black detectives. Whatever, they had leads and everything like that. They were doing crystal meth, and the two people got killed. First of all, before even investigation, the chief of police and all that threw them under the bus. Why? Because the victim was white and the perpetrator is black. It does not matter if the perpetrator was a police officer. It does not matter. When it comes to the black-white dynamic, you know what I'm saying, you cannot do that. So all these black cops thinking, oh yeah, we're gonna get rid of crime and everything like that. Right. It's freaking stupid, you know. It's stupid. We can't have. We got to tell people all the time. Look, this is what we're facing here in America, you know. And so therefore, like as we have this conversation, right? It's disingenuous for people to come in, and we know this. Like I said, I tell a lot of my African friends and everything like that, and they always ask me, "Why are you guys so angry all the time? Why are you guys so angry?" Yeah. You know, and I'm like, "Yo, look, you don't see. They don't understand. I mean, I understand. You come to America, you see the infrastructure and everything like that. You know, you see toilets that flush, you see friggin' electricity that goes on, and everything, and you're like, this is heaven. Okay, okay, this that, yeah." Well, my thing is, why can't we make Africa like that? You know, why can't we build black countries like that? You know, so therefore we don't come to the white countries and basically turn a blind eye to the injustice they do. Same thing goes on in the UK. You know, anywhere where there's a growing black population and everything, Australia and everything. You know, it is what it is. You know, why? Because we are addicted to the white man's infrastructure. We have to build black African infrastructure. We have to build black cities. We have to build black industrial zones. We have to build all these things so we don't have to worry about living in the white man's world. He knows the fact that, you know, as long as he's here in America, the system is going to always do that. And that's all. It's a sick mindset, you know. They don't care about anything else. They know that when they see, look on the news, black guy shot by a cop, right? And when you think you're gonna get that sympathy, oh my baby, oh man, they don't care about that. It doesn't move them. They, like I said, it's been proven that a lot of white people do not believe we feel the same pain they do when we get hurt or do things like that, you know.
Right.
So Audrey taking shots. You know, really, Toys R Us, get that passport. I'm working on it. God damn. Somebody said, "What's up with the BAO?" Oh yeah, we had some disagreements in the BAO. I'll talk about it. We had some disagreements and stuff like that. You know, I mean, but for the most part, most of the people in the BAO are still about land infrastructure, nationhood. Just that we just have different platforms and stuff like that. You know, it's not, you know, anything that's going to go away. You know, people think it's going to go away and stuff like that. It's never going to go away. There's some people doing their thing. I'm doing my thing, whatever like that. That's all people need to know. You know, there's no, well, you know, it ain't going anywhere. So people are thinking, oh yeah, this nationhood thing has finally come to an end. No, it's only going to grow even more. And like I said, in the coming months, you're going to see what I'm talking about, you know, because the stuff that we're talking about is happening, you know. So that's all I need to say about that. I'm not going to get into the politics of what's the beef and infighting. That's completely irrelevant, you know. All you need to know is that we're in a fucked up situation here in America, right? You know, building bridges with Africa. You know, it's like I in the movie Enter the Dragon.
Right,
Bruce Lee said, remember he said to the kid, he goes, it's like a finger pointing away to the moon. I never knew what that meant, right? He says, don't.
A finger what?
He goes, it's like a finger pointing away to the moon, right?
Away to the moon.
Away to the moon, right? And
okay.
The kid looked at the finger, right? He said, and he pat my head and said, don't concentrate on the finger or you'll miss all that heavenly glory. In other words, basically, if I'm in a BAL, whatever like that, if I'm the finger, I'm pointing the way towards glory. Heavenly Glory, which is an African nation state building Africa, right? Don't concentrate on me. Concentrate on what I'm talking about, and then you won't go say. So I'm an individual. I'm fallible. I could fall off tomorrow. But this mission that we're talking about, land infrastructure nationhood, is going to continue, with or without me. So I'm irrelevant. The mission is going to happen because this was meant to happen. This is prophecy. This is meant to happen, with or without college genesis. So therefore, people, what about the BLM? Look, this is not some hashtag movement like Black Lives Matter. This ain't going nowhere. It's only growing. It's growing stronger. We got people, affiliates all over the place. I can't keep track of everybody. People are doing their own thing, but we all believe in one thing: that it's time for us to have a nation state of our own, and that's what our end game is. So that's thing. So people, if you want to rock with me, if you can rock with the other people, whatever like that, that's fine. I don't really care. But make sure you understand that this movement is not going anywhere. Anytime fast. But well, like I said, we live in a situation, right? We have to ask ourselves, what is going on in Black America? What's going on in Black America? No matter what we see, people got money and everything. You go out to any, if I go to Red Lobster right now and everything, I'm going to see people Black people pulling out credit cards. I'm going to see Mercedes Benz in the driveway and everything. Black people, the money.
The Red Lobster, the number one revenue generating Red Lobsters here in Atlanta off of Camp Creek. And everything you just said, everything you just said, as far as credit cards and Mercedes.
Right.
Colin, listen. When I was doing sales for Centos, I walked into that Red Lobster on like a Tuesday,
right,
at 3:00, thinking that I could see the manager because it would be slow. It was a wait.
Yeah.
Tuesday at 3:00.
Yeah. Black people, Black America is a 1.2. Well, actually 1.6 now. Another 5 years will hit $2 trillion. That's $2 trillion worth of income that pumps right into white America. But the good thing about 2019, we put almost $2 billion of that in Ghana. That's good. These tourism companies that Dynasty does and stuff like that, I heard sort of guy the other day, right? On a thing. I had to, I don't know if, how some people who are trying to discourage Africa because they don't really believe in it, whatever like that. Some guy, last name Muhammad, whatever like that. He's like, he goes, this girl had a tour. I don't know if affiliated with you or not. She put a thing talking about tourism to the Gambia, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, and the tourist package, including flight and everything, was $4,000, right? This guy's like, whoo, y'all robbing people. I'm
man, get out of here, man.
You telling me to go to Africa, right? A flight, everything, for like 7 days, something like that. $4,000 is a lot of money. You could save that. You know what I'm saying? You could put that money away or put it on a credit card and go there. And they'll say, so in other words, this girl, she's doing it. Of course she's going to try to make money. Why should not? Like,
yeah, we can't make money. We can't make money.
If it was a white tourist company, you'd be like, okay, yeah, here we go.
No, hold on, Colin. These Indian tourist companies in Tanzania.
Are you kidding me?
They're owned by Indians in Tanzania.
They got to be kidding me. You're joking, right?
Colin, they got one called Leopard Tours. Look it up. You know the amount of money they're making?
They make it hand over fist.
My God. All white people, all white tourists.
Right.
And they pick them up. They got the Land Rovers, like the old school Land Rovers, and they take them on safari.
I look at your tour. I look at Brother Bamani's tour and whatnot, professional tour. I'm like, wow, I took like 600 people to Africa and whatnot, and everything, you know what I'm saying, what you're doing with your tours, and the sister that you joined with the Brexit, brother Mark Blanton in South Africa, he has a couple. Get this, his tours like this for a couple, not including airfare, right? But a couple, $4,200 for a couple in Cape and Johannesburg, Durban. Safari, all that, Zulu dance, all that stuff like that. Fine 5-star hotel, and you're all telling me for you and your wife, whatever, like that, $4,000 a lot of money, And he's doing real well. And you got Phil Scott doing his thing, and say, oh yeah, tourism, whatever, like that. These black people, Are we not allowed to make money? You know
No.
what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, basically, we're supposed to have a tour in Africa and
For free.
pay
For free.
and everybody for free.
For free.
You know? You know? So which we call so I'm like this. I'm like this. We have to get out of that mindset, right? We have to respect Black authority. We have to respect Black business and everything. We have to respect entrepreneurship and everything, what people are trying to do and everything. You know, I ripped this guy to pieces. I was like, man, what the heck are you talking about? Why are you trying to discourage this young woman or what she's trying to do? She looked like a good tour package and everything like that. She's trying to make money. She loves the Gambia. She does all that, this thing, you know what I'm saying? And people like, yeah, I'm going to go. People sign. You're trying to discourage people not to go. Talking about that's too much money. You know? I don't think that's enough money. You know? So she's like, airfare, everything included. Thanks to everybody for you guys for the Pan African Strikes Back. Thank everybody for the super chats, helping my brother Diane Samir.
Thank you.
And everything like that. This is where we're going to be doing it and everything. I'm going to have my own show. I don't know if I'm going to be on YouTube, but it's going to be on. I don't know if it's going to be podcast. It's going to be on several different streams and everything. But I'm looking forward to that. You know, I'm looking forward to having guests. I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation and everything like that, and being a little edgy and everything. But I can't thank Dinah Samir enough over the years for helping myself, the BAIO, and everybody else that's affiliated with us and what we're doing and everything like that. You know, we wouldn't be here without Dinah Samir, you know? And so, like I said, his books and his Amazon, please support this brother, you know, because he has a mission. You know, like I said, you know, for somebody his age to be this involved and this serious in something, you know, and it's another thing. That's another thing in Black America, right? You know, yeah, man, man, you gotta stay at college, man. The young boys and whatnot. I said, wait a minute, how old are you? I'm 35. You ain't no young boy, nigga. You know, we got time. We gotta have time to get ourselves together because you know this, that, the other thing. Nigga, you pushing 40 to about you a young boy and you don't. We gotta grow the fuck up, man. We gotta grow as Black men. We gotta grow the fuck up. You know, we gotta start thinking like men. You know, we got the world counting on us. You know, we got the Black America, Africa, and we got everybody counting on us. We got to start acting like men. You know, we got to start doing the things and saying the things and presenting ourselves. And back to Snoop Dogg and whatnot, you know. I was saying this. Remember, I was saying this for a long time. Everybody, Colin, you just a hater, whatnot, you know. I said, you know, at some point in time, man. I said at some point in time, you're worth $100 million, right? At some point in time, you have to grow the fuck up, you know, and acting. I think Snoop bit off more than he could chew. You know, his worst nightmare was not being invited on these The View and The Real and Martha Stewart and everything like that, you know. So basically, all these people talk about you guys thought Snoop was your hero and everything. He just threw you under the bus. And the whole controversy went away. But he did have a point, you know, he did have a point. Why is Kobe not even in the ground? Is Gayle King bringing that up by his situation when the man was cleared of the fact that he committed the crime? And then Charles Barkley, that ham bone Negro, you know what I'm saying? He said, well, Kobe's going to remember it. Well, let's go back to Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley once threw a man out of a hotel window, right?
Right.
And he was only upset that it was on the first floor, right?
Right.
Then I didn't know about this. In 1992, I was told this by my librarian. So one of my librarians said in the Olympics, right, in 1992, Charles Barkley elbowed an Angolan player, right? You know, he was being real aggressive. He said he was calling all kinds of African booty scrap, all stuff like that, right? And then he said, "Well, I thought the guy was going to hit me with a spear," you know. And the Africans, he went out of his way to show discord between the U.S. and African athletes, you know. Because Charles Barkley is married to a white woman, he hates being Black and everything, and that's how he rolls. But yet he's now going to sit here and pass judgment on Kobe Bryant. You know, Charles Barkley is married, but he goes out there in clubs, trying to have sex with young white girls and shit like that. You know, at his age and everything, and he's doing all this kind of foolishness. But yet he's basically, when a white man wants to use him. Hey, Charles, say something about Kobe. Oh, yeah, see, you know, Kobe, his legacy and all stuff like that, you know? The man's body is still not even cold in the ground yet, and these people are coming out attacking him. Right. I can't believe what I'm seeing, you know? And that what shouldn't surprise me, it shouldn't surprise me. I always knew that, like I said, this whole thing about black unity is a bunch of bullshit, that black people will sell themselves out to get closer to white people, get closer to the mainstream media, to get invited on these panels, and you're just one of the good guys and everything like that. Where Mr. Bryant says, College Genesis, you're the best interview I've seen, on point with facts. I try to be, I try to be. I'm just here doing my part, to build this platform and many other platforms I want to see grow, and the message out there, because like I said, it's all about winning, in my personal life, I just got I'm getting a big promotion in my personal life and everything. I'm getting bumped up the chain and everything like that. I've been waiting 8 years for this and whatnot. So, and the things that's happening right now in the Pan-African movement, I can't tell you folks how excited I am and everything. It still bothers me about what goes on. In other words, people think, well, Kyle, if you're a Pan-Africanist, people tell me, why are you always commenting on what things are going on? Oh, well, I live in America.
Right.
If you're a Pan-Africanist, Diane, we're not supposed to comment on anything goes on in America.
Right.
Just focus on Africa. I said, no, I live here in America. I'm a comment on what's going on in America, and I'm a comment on what's going on in Africa. I told people about what's going on in Cameroon. I was right. It's a mess. Zambia, Western Zambia, as I told you back in September, I said, watch Western Zambia. Now there's like a full-scale war in Baroksi land in Zambia. Mass killings, ritual killings, gassings, and everything's breaking out right now. Oh, the separatist movement and thing, and almost African Americans almost got in the middle of that, in Zambia. But like I said, things are going really well and everything like that, and we just have to focus on the thing. Let me ask you something. Did you see that video of Wody Meyer?
Which one?
Oh, the one about the Chinese. The Chinese. You didn't see that?
As far as when they called the kids the nigga.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video, no. But
if you want to find it and play it, that would be good to talk about. But I don't know if you have the time, whatever. Anyway, Wody Meyer was just so broken up, and that kid is such a sweet kid, And
he was broken up because when Wody first got on, his thing was pro China. They were best friends.
What I get from Wody is, like I said, let's not take that from what people call him a coon. This and thing.
Well, I'm not calling him a coon, but
no, not you. But he was like, oh, why are you just saying that? But Wody is just a loving, sweet person. You know what I'm saying? A good-hearted person. Right. And he's just like a good-hearted person. This and thing. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He's just really good. And I'm like, I told him, I said, look, man, leave that means. Don't let them change you. let me deal with that. Right. That's what we got the College Genesis for.
Right. Good.
That's what we got the College Genesis. I'm here so Dynas don't have to do that.
Right.
Dynas can do like that. I'm here. That's what I'm here for. Wody, keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep being Wody Meyer. You know what I'm saying? That's the side of Africa. They'll say, despite everything, despite people growing up in poverty and everything, we still know how to love. We still know how to cherish. We still know how to have good love people and everything. And we still love it. We're not going to lose that. And I'm not saying we're going to be fools, but there's a part of our nature that allowed us to come into slavery. You just have to have people like me around. Right. I don't want us to turn like the white man. I don't want us to be them. That's the one thing I always say. Let's not become what we hate. Let's not start hating people and everything. I say that, but if you really want to deal with people like that, just leave that to me. Leave that to me. I'll deal with God in my own way. And stuff like that. But I don't want to see people like Wody Meyer turn into me. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
I don't want that to happen. You don't have to be College Genesis. Just keep being yourself. So like this. So
sure. Go ahead. About 10 more minutes, and then we'll wrap up.
Does anybody want to call in?
Let's see. Okay, if you want, we'll take 2 calls. We'll take 2 calls.
Right.
If you want to call in, send me an email, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com, and you can talk to the College Genesis, uhuru@searchforuhuru.com. If you want to call in, send me an email, we'll let you in.
But yeah, but like I said, man, like I said, brother, I'm saying You know what I'm saying? We're doing a lot of good things. This is if you had told me 10 years ago, and like I said, don't discount the power of social media. You know, this, like I said, we're doing all this, right? This is all happening without CNN. Think about that, Dynas, right?
Right.
All this is happening without CNN. Can you imagine when we really start getting on larger platforms, you know? Because a lot of people don't even know we exist.
Right.
You know? Can you imagine that? That's why they suppress your views and stuff like that on YouTube, you know? You know, they want to keep us. Oh yeah, okay, okay. We're gonna only the bare minimum. You have, I guess, the algorithm is you have to say Africa. Let's get the hell out of here, whatever like that, before it pops up on somebody's timeline. YouTube has 1 billion friggin' people on YouTube and whatnot, you know. And you mean tell me this is a junction between America and Africa, and most of these videos only get 5,000-6,000 views? That's insane. You know, that's insane. You know, that's to say there's somebody suppressing that. But like I said, let them keep doing that. It's their platform. They can do what they want. But we're gonna have our own platforms one day, and we're gonna have to worry about that. But we're just gonna keep stressing on and everything like that. Nothing's gonna stop this. Nothing's gonna stop this movement. Nothing's gonna stop what we're doing. You know, like I said, like I said, if you want to join what I'm doing and everything like that, there's the social network, Black African Infrastructure Social Network. We have different groups and everything. It's a meet and greet. It's a social network. You know, it's not an organization. It's a social network. Right now, we have people from Angola in there. They're linking up with people from Brazil. We got people from Nigeria linking up with people from Black people that's living in Australia. People are making business contacts and connections and everything like that, and meeting and greeting and everything. That's what it's all about. Social. We have to build social capital up. Dynas has built social capital up with social search for Huru. You know, social capital. So when the time comes, right, Dynas could go and sit down to any boardroom anywhere when a big and put his name on it and whatnot, and he will be a board member of a major corporation in Nigeria one day, you know, because he's building up his social capital, his connections, you know, his name brand. You know, and so therefore, this is what it's all about: social capital. This is one thing we're missing. I found this out years ago. I said, wow. When I first started talking to Africans, right, and I was like, yeah, man, Dr. Heinrich Clark and whatnot, and they didn't know who the hell I was talking about. Yeah, but the Marcus Garvey, they're like, who the hell is Marcus Garvey? I'm like, what? You know, I thought that I did not see Jesse Jackson go over Africa a couple times and Andrew Young and everything. So I thought there was this understanding between us and everything, you know, of going. But don't you guys understand what we went through in America? Nah, man. All we ought to see is what y'all doing. Y'all gang banging and stuff like that. We don't want that shit. I'm like, that's not who we are. I thought you guys knew who we were talking about. And then it dawned on me back then. I said, look, yeah, maybe the Pan-African that I studied is something that came out of the slavery and oppression of being landless and everything. I had my friend Ayembe Alongo, right? Love Ayembe, right? He was from Cameroon, right? He lived in Atlanta. I don't know if you ever met him.
No, I haven't. No.
You know, Ayembe. Well, he has a Pan-African institution. You know, he has a Pan-African Institute of Science and Technology, right? And that's when I first came up with the idea that we need STEM, you know. And I joined his Ning site. He had a Ning site at the time, right? And I joined his social network, right? And he had incubators, right, for every country, you know, in the groups in the country. But he had a lot of non-Black people in there, you know, Russians, everybody, investors and everything like that, that were linking up with people on the ground. Right? That's what he did, right? So I came in there with my, yeah, man, Black power. We're going to do this same thing. Next thing you know, he was like, yo, next thing you know, they removed me from the social network, right? I said, yeah, babe, what's going on, brother? He said, brother, man, you got to stand something, man. He goes, what you got to do is that what you're trying to do, man, you got to build a social network around what you're trying to do. My thing is, I'm trying to get investors here. And, you know, I said, I understand, brother. You know, I understood. I wasn't mad or like that. I understood that, you know, my brand of what I'm talking about was scaring away, you know, the people he was trying to court, you know, the bankers, investors, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So I said, I understood. But I swore back then, I said, we're going to have a social network and everything linked up where we are going to talk about, it's about race, you know, because when I started bringing in race and Black people joining together, when that was making people uncomfortable and everything, you know. So I was like, okay, I understand. You know, this, but I love the brother to death, man. You know, from what I see, he's back in Cameroon. Evidently, he probably made it really big now. He's back in Cameroon, probably running a big company or something like that. But like I said, so therefore, those of us who think like us and everything, and the Africans on the continent think like us, the social network, the Black African Infrastructure Organization, is a place for you. Where you understand that it's about race. We're slave descendants. You're Africans. You're our brothers and sisters on the continent. We have something in common. We both love the African continent. We want to see it do well. So we come together in that spirit. So therefore we don't have to apologize for being who we are. So like I said, so that's it. So
let's see here. All right, I sent the link out to a couple people. Call in. We'll be on. Like I said, we'll take a couple callers. Then we'll close out. Right. And guys, go to dynastymirror.com. Make sure you go to Africa personified.africa. Go to my Amazon store. Tour as well. If you're interested in the tours are coming up. Nigeria in March, August, and in Sierra Leone in December. Mike, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Danny. Hold on. Oh, Danny, what's up, man?
This is who I think it is.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, Mike. Okay.
Hey.
Well, yeah, I got a lot to say to you, bro.
Yeah. Am I flipped upside down? I don't know. I think colors flip.
You're good.
No, you're fine. We're good. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm a big fan of when you guys Kala is a very, very intelligent man. Like, I like when he speaks. About him is that he likes to balance things. You like to balance things, and I really like that. I mean, the reason why I'm calling it, he makes few statements about the whole thing. And I think one point he makes is that you think as a comment, they look at
brother, you keep going in and out. Is there something? Are you on speaker?
Oh, okay, let me see. Oh yeah, I'm on the speaker actually. She's complaining that I need to get a mic. So I'm using the mic. I don't know. Am I still breaking in and out? Hold on, let me try.
Yeah, you're doing all right. I'll just listen carefully. Go ahead, brother.
Hold on. Let me try this. Okay, so the thing is this. I think it's a misunderstanding when the African immigrants come in. I think it's, you guys always think the issue that why they stick to themselves is because white media is feeding them about gangsterism or madness, the chaos in the Black community. I don't think that's the case, because there's no chaos that goes on in African Americanness in Africa. Trust me. So no Jamaican or Nigerian. We have issue because of the chaos is going on in the community. No, we're not. We've seen chaos where we come from, so it's not a chaos. I think what they have issue is when they're relating to Black Americans. I think that's what a big issue is, And you also mentioned that when people will come here, when people come here, they want to team up with white supremacists, rather than team up with blacks. I don't think most blacks on our way, what's in our mind is, once I get there, I'm kicking there. That's the thing that's in our mind. When we get to America,
I understand that perfectly what you're saying.
I'm going.
I'm going. Nigerian, let me say this, brother Mike. If I'm a Nigerian immigrant, right, I saved all this money for 3 years to get to the United States, right? I'm just looking at myself, right? I'm here. I'm trying to come here to try to make it. You know what I'm saying? And when I do make it, right, you're gonna say something. This is the advantage immigrants have over us, right? Americans. This is not just black. See, I'm gonna say it's not just Black Americans, right? It's white Americans too. Americans are lazy. You know what I'm saying? We take everything for granted. You know what I'm saying? We never had to really struggle like that for the basics like that. So we don't take advantage of this. Let me say this: there's libraries in every Black community, right? But when you go to the libraries, right? Are they in there pulling books on geography and stuff like that, like I did when I was in my 20s, where I was in the library to eat books? They used to have to close. They had to throw me out.
That's one other point I always want to say too. Yeah, that's the thing. When I go to libraries a lot. Okay, go ahead.
Well, Africans come here.
When I go to libraries a lot.
Yeah, good.
When I go to libraries, especially around the malls, and I go to Barnes and Nobles, the kids that I see there are usually white, and even a lot of Nigerians send the kids to make sure they go to libraries. Now, and a lot of Black Americans like yourself understand that, you know what, knowledge is power. Reading is very important.
Right, yeah, of course.
How about we promote reading? How about we promote, we promote reading culture, all these kind of things, but no one is doing that.
Like I said, like we said at the top of the show, it's a Black America suffers a cultural deficit. Reading for the most part is not cool. Even when people read, right? Let me give you an example. I had a girl that called my radio show years ago, right? She sounded like a nice young girl, right? And we was talking about vitamins and herbs and stuff like that. And I was frustrated about how people sell herbal. I was going off on it, right? And she called in and said, "Well, I did it," like that. And then she basically said, "Well, I got a degree from herbal something like that from a white." And then she was like, "Well, don't be mad." I was like, "What are you talking about? Be mad?" She goes, "I got a degree." She apologized for having an education in herbal medicine and stuff like that from a white.
Exactly. Intellectualism is not something that the Black American community just don't value. That's one big problem. Like, and I'm not saying everyone. Like, the thing is this. Like, okay, my neighborhood I used to live in, I grew up and say, I definitely have the, I'm not someone that just came from Africa that's talking. I grew up here. I came here as a teenager. So I've been here almost 21 years now, So I know Black American friends that I grew up with, that we all went to high school together. And I had a situation where a couple of them went to college and a couple of them went to jail, right?
Yeah.
A couple of them went to college for 6 years and a couple of them went to jail for 6 years. Okay, now, after graduation, we went back to the neighborhood. When the guys that came out of jail were throwing party for coming out of jail, and the guy that came out of college were throwing party for coming out of college. Everybody was celebrating the guy that came out of jail. Like, oh, let's go to this party, and he's the hero of the neighborhood. Whereas these two brothers that came out of college,
you're singing to the choir. You're singing to the choir.
I'm going somewhere. These two brothers that came out of college, guess what they will call them? Sellouts, coons. They don't celebrate them. They see them as guys that sold out. That's where the problem. That's why the problem is the mentality. So when people like Nigerians come over here and see things like that, like a brother come from Nigeria is like, okay, this is what I want to do. And we come, like I said, we on our way to America, we want to associate with Black Americans. We do. But the moment we're doing certain things like that, and Black Americans see us as coons, doing something progressive, we're doing something bad. We coons. That's where my issue.
Brother Mike, let me say this. This is why, we created I didn't create it, but all of us that created the BAL, we created an Insight, right? That we have a STEM group, and you have brothers in there that, tell them, Dice, right? We talk about everything from every type of geothermal, everything that goes on in the world. We have science. We have engineers, scientists. We have everybody. It's a Black think tank. You know what I'm saying? And we sort of made it cool. I used to do my show. We used to have energy shows, and we were debating nuclear energy versus hydro energy. And brothers on the phone getting passionate, right? And I said to myself, nowhere on Blog Talk Radio back in the days would anybody would talk about this. And I had a lot of African brothers call in and said, "Man, you the type of brothers we need to be around." I said, "Yeah, we're out here." You know what I'm saying? But a lot of the times the Black people that think about education, everything, they're silent. They're just doing their thing. They're either whites or whatever like that, There's nobody actually talking about business and stuff like that, that made it cool. That's why I like Jay Morrison. He's making investments in real estate cool, and that's the whole thing on Black America. You have to be cool about it. You got to be cool in a certain way, because we've been taught that all this stuff is a white thing. We only had like one movie, I think, where for the most of main movie that basically showed young Black men.
So my thing is this: don't you think a lot of us that come out to call ourselves, we looking for the interest of a lot of Black Americans that come out like YouTube platform, don't you think they should focus 100% of the energy, a lot of the energy on things like that, like fighting this mentality, talking about this mentality?
We try to fight it
instead of okay, now listen, okay, for example, when Black Americans complain that these Nigerians don't want to fuck with them or something like that, don't want to do much association with them and things like that, and to me that's a lie. Because any intelligent, someone like you, Kali or Dynas, there's no way you get around Nigerians. They don't want to deal with you. They will pull you close to them because they see that you are serious. So yeah, thank you. So what is this that people saying Nigerians and Black Americans are divided? We are not divided. If a Nigerian come and he see you as a Black American person that's serious, that's positive.
Yeah.
He will associate with you. He has no problem with you.
Right.
But what people are promoting on YouTube is, we are divided. Oh, the reason we're divided is because they point at stupid things that
you know what the problem is. Like I said earlier, the lowest common denominator represents us. The lowest common denominator of Black America is out there in on the rap video, on the things talking ignorant stuff and everything like that. And the people that want to seriously have a conversation about what's going on in Africa and everything, like I said, and people talk to me and say, "Well, Kyle, you know a lot about Nigeria. I've been studying Nigeria for 25 years." I remember during the time when Ken Saro-Wiwa was executed. You know what I'm saying? And I was trying to explain to people what happened. I was telling people about. I said Abacha was a good president. You know what I'm saying? He's misunderstood. He was a good president and everything. And I said,
he was good and he was also bad.
Well, he was good, but he did a lot of good. And also, I said, because of Abacha, we have Aliko Dangote. The commodities brokers, local markets. No one knew that you could be a billionaire just selling inside of Nigeria until Aliko Dangote came along. You could tell, and you.
Abacha was anti. That is last time I was on. I was gonna tell them argument I was making that time. Actually, there was point I was trying to make. Abacha was actually trying to stop this brain drain that's going on.
Yeah,
because there was a time.
there
was a time where Sani Abacha actually invested millions of dollars training. He went to train 10,000 Nigerian doctors. 10,000, and United States Embassy actually gave visa to those 10,0id doctors to come to America.
Yeah,
and Sani Abacha said it was going to ban. Sani Abacha said it was going to ban. It was going to ban the whole Nigerian migrating to America, the whole immigration visa program. American government, they went after him.
Evade Nigeria during that time period.
They were really. That's why that was my argument. It's not I was trying to display your ancestors. That was my argument with information man. I was trying to tell him that listen, there's more. It's not just yes, your ancestor definitely paved the way. I wasn't arguing that. The reason why I was just ignoring that is because information man is being so arrogant that I just kind of want to hurt his feelings. Not really. I wasn't trying to display your ancestors that they didn't fight for all blacks.
Let me say something about that right now. My whole thing is this. Right?
So disrespectful.
There's a whole lot of things, but I would not tell somebody, well, you got rich America, you owe me now, whatnot. That's arrogant.
Because that's the attitude of all those guys on YouTube, man. That stuff is just annoying.
Yeah, so
like you look at O'Shea Duke Jackson, this guy will make like an hour video just insulting Nigerians. Just insult. I'm like, what is this nonsense?
Let me say this about brother O'Shea. But with O'Shea, like I said, you gotta say something. He was basically just talking about the fact that as more of us black people need to call out Black America. He was basically saying that point. He says Nigerians shouldn't do. I know Nigerians get frustrated with Black Americans because of our influence and everything, and the stuff we say, it goes all out there. And Nigerians react to it, Black America, blah, blah, like that. So the bottom, he just saying, look, let us deal with the dusty Negroes in our community. You know what I'm saying? Let us do it. We know how to handle the dust in our community. We have a dust factor in Black America.
Yeah, we do.
I love my brother.
I really don't see.
We got dusty Negroes in Black America. Ain't nobody gonna deny that, bro.
Well, I don't see Nigerians really complaining about the dusty Negroes in your neighborhood. I don't see Nigerians making YouTube videos just like going after this pointing fingers at the dusty things that's in the Black community. I don't think so, because we know in our country we have crazy things going on. We have dusty. This thing is worldwide. So I don't think. I think many Black Americans are thinking Nigerians are reacting to the dusty Negroes in America. I don't think so. We have dusty people in our own countries.
I think Nigerians have high expectations of us. Because
I don't think so. I don't think they have.
Also, like I said, my whole thing is this though. What Nigerians need to do is this. This is what a lot of Nigerians need to do. They need to be in social networks, right, with like-minded African Americans. Then you see how we get along. I got so many.
And trust me, we do that.
We do that. It's like I said. Well, like I said, that's why I created a Ning site, a social network. I have a Nigerian chapter. You know what I'm saying? I got so many Nigerians in there. Like I said, I ask two questions: are you African American or are you Black African descent? If you're that, you're part of the brother and sisterhood. That's all you need to be. That's how I roll. Because I know in the long run, if you come to Texas,
yeah.
It turns out in the long run, our goal is to be able to see African Americans, the next generation coming up, where you have young African Americans and young Nigerians doing business together. Instead of having all these Western companies, and Chinese and everything. I want to see us work together and do that. And you can't do that until we socialize, you know? Social media is dangerous because people say one thing and whatnot. Next thing you know, oh, fuck all Nigerians or fuck all African Americans, you know? But we're talking to each other. Like I said, look, let me tell you something. I got my Nigerian friends. Sometimes I get out of pocket. My Nigerian friends, man, Kyle, what the hell you talking about? Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, I have my boy Edward. I know he's probably listening to the show now. He's probably throwing darts at my picture right now, you know? Every little, you know, but he's Nigerian, but he's been listening to me for like 11 years now, you know? And he's like, yeah, Colin, bye, 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 you know, just say anything. And I listen to him. He calls me up, and I listen to him one night, you know, he gets me pointed, you know, you said what you said about this was wrong, bye, bye, bye. And I say, well, did we? But the bottom line is this: what we can't do is shut each other off. We have to continue the debate, good and bad, you know what I'm saying, or different. We have to keep talking to each other. We have to keep communicating. You know what I'm saying? And we have to start by doing this. We're building bonds together. You know what I'm saying? You know,
You know, one thing I have to say I respect about you and Dynas is that you guys are the two people I know on YouTube that call out, like you mentioned earlier, like what comes out to be the representative of Black America, the voice, are the negative people. Now, if you look all over YouTube, right, people making YouTube channels, most of the Black American making YouTube channels, the voice of Black America, people like the Oshedu Jackson, the Yvette Cornell, and all these people, they're coming out painting things to make it look like that's a hatred between Africans and Black Americans. Which
I don't think O'Shea do that, but I think Yvette does.
O'Shea does it a lot, dude. He does it. This guy really made video, like he made an hour video insulting all Nigerians and make video after video. This guy show, I was watching the show, literally his guests would say things like, oh, Black Americans are genetically superior to Africans. You know, that kind of comments. That's stupid. O'Shea Jackson.
I don't think O'Shea would somebody say that for real. Like O'Shea.
They would say disgusting things like that. You know, Information Man's on that show a lot too. You know, they'll be having those kind of stupid conversation. I'm like, what kind of stupid shit is this? And I expect the thing is this.
I am dead set against that. We are all one people. You know what I'm saying?
Like Kala, let me finish this point. The thing is this: you have to understand, we're Nigerians. We have thick skins. Yeah, we won't let it get to us. You understand? But we're gonna hold it against you. But the thing is this: someone like me that lived in Black community, I can easily understand that. No, that's not Black American speaking. That's that trash speaking. But someone that's never lived, a Nigerian that's never lived among Black people, like what you guys understand is YouTube. The whole world is watching. Somebody is sitting down in Nigeria watching that kind of stuff. We're gonna be like, what the hell? They will think that's what the way Black Americans think. So what I'm trying to say is, you guys need to. Black American community need to do a better job, like responding to people that listen. You're not representing all of us. That's your opinion. This is not Black Americans' opinion.
Like I said, people. Like I said, I'm down to defend.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, O'Shea is currently in Uganda building, adding to the community. So you know,
he has grown a lot in the past. Yeah,
another point. Like another reason why Information Man. I felt like he felt like I was trying, when he was trying to say my ancestors, I was trying to ignore his ancestors' comment, was because there was a time Information Man was Oshedu Jackson show, and a Caribbean guy made a comment. He said, went through, and they were like, oh, fuck your history. Your history is not as bad as our history. So that kind of comment made me feel like, how do you disrespect someone else's history and want others to respect your history? You know, so. Those kind of things, like you don't play double standard, you know. If we want us to respect each other's history and each other's situation, we can discard someone else's situation, someone else's history, and say, oh, your shit is nice. We don't care.
That kind of attitude with Black people. Hey, Mike, you know the problem with Black people, and it's Black people all the time. We love generalizations, you know. You know, we love generalization. That's on both sides. You know, we just generalize.
I grew up, like I said, I grew up in a Black neighborhood, so I'm aware, I know all these things. But what I'm trying to say is, we need to be cautious. We need to be conscious that, listen, the way we are speaking, people are gonna, you know, we can't just be speaking carelessly. Even if we do, we have to be cautious. Like people, some things we say. And another thing, what frustrates me is this: certain things those Black American people out here will say. If an African or Caribbean person say exactly the same thing to them, they will lose it. They will not be able. So the bottom line, if it's something you cannot take, don't say it to other people. I will not say something to you that I will not want you to say to me. So what frustrates me a lot is that Black Americans complain that these people are making comments, but when I look, you guys are making even worse comments. You know, like Yeah, so that's why I'm like, listen, if we're gonna work as a people, but which I don't think is a problem, because a good African American positive ones don't do that shit. It's the negative ones, and everybody seems to be following the negative ones as the voice of the people, and that's what a tragedy is.
Yeah,
You know, these
and
negative
it's
ones.
just like we said at the top of the show, when people, it's like all it takes is one rap video showing gang banging, glorified gang banging, and all the work that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X did just went down to. There was a group in the '90s called Arrested Development. You ever heard of them?
Yeah. Speech.
Yeah, yeah. He said brothers is he said something with line with something like brothers, all these people work died in vain by brothers on the corners playing ghetto games. Well, in other words, basically he was saying there's a part of Black America, right, that white people is rooting for. That's a ghetto. That's why they give them millions of dollars, right? And you're not gonna see somebody who talks positive and stuff like that. You know. Now, what I
Yeah,
could see is like we more positive rap and whatnot. If Africans would embrace those type of artists and everything like that, there'll be a ready-made market for that sort of content, and it'll grow. Right now, the airwaves and everything is putting out this garbage and nonsense and negativity and everything, and so therefore that's the only thing they're going to monetize. But like I said, as more and more of us get acclimated to Africa and everything like that. I remember a few years
yeah,
ago, 50 Cent went to Nigeria and he had 150,000 people at a concert. That's unheard of in America. 150,000 people.
yeah.
So the market
I mean,
is
that's
there.
what that's the kind of artists they promote worldwide, you know.
Yeah, I'm
And
saying, but the
you
thing
know what's
is,
a tragedy?
imagine, but Africans are more acclimated to listen to conscious stuff. You know, you say what you want about Kanye. If he goes to Africa, he'll sell out. You know what I'm saying? He'll sell out the stadium, you know? So the market's
Yeah,
there, you know what I'm saying? We have the potential to build
there's
that,
big
but
market there, especially Nigeria.
yeah, Nigeria, you got all these people at big markets and everything like that. Look at Nicki Minaj. She did a 20-minute show in Angola and sold the freaking stadium out. You know, the president was even there, you know? So we have the potential
Yeah,
if Africa becomes a place of culture and the Pan-African culture and everything becomes the center of everything, then what we go on the hood won't even matter because Africa is 10 times the size of the United States, you know? The majority
yeah.
of us are on the African continent. You understand that? There's a
Yeah.
growing black middle class. They said the black middle class in Africa is at 500
But
million.
unfortunately, a lot of your people don't believe they're Africans, man. They will tell you that
That's another
Hebrew
story.
Israelites.
Yeah. But
don't go there.
hey, what we'll do? Let's get the next caller on, brother Mike. Odaro.
Oh, that one, man. Okay, I mean, hey, like I just want to just throw it out, man. But hey, let me make it one last point. Danny's one last point. Danny's one last point. One last quick point. Sorry, man. I'll be quick. Hey, another thing that's going on that you guys need to really point at is this: a lot of Africans, especially Nigerians, trying to make this claim that when they come to America, that the people that are trying to make sure they don't succeed are Black Americans, and I'm fighting there to say that that's not true. And one thing that's trying to convince people to believe that is because Cynthia Review, this chick, I mean, she worked hard, she built a life. And next thing we know is some Black Americans are protesting that she shouldn't get a job. And things like that, man, you guys got to talk about it. Like, hey, we can't have this.
I talked about it. I talked about it. There's no reason why we should be fighting over jobs that are given by white people.
That's what I'm saying. That's
yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. My two favorite actors are Shearwell Geoffrey and David Yellowell. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they playing, I'm in the movie theater. You know, David Yellowell, that's my number one. That's my guy. Right? He can act. When he played in Red Pills, man, he killed it, man. You know what I'm saying? He played Martin Luther King. He killed it. Chirwell Geoffrey with that 12 Years a Slave, knocked it out the park.
I think Black American actors should work with come to Nigeria and do their own things.
That would be nice, but
instead of trying to.
But Mike, it's not going to happen because the white man's ice, white man's water is colder. Hollywood, it's not going to happen.
It's all about that red carpet,
there you go. It's all about the red carpet. But Mike, brother, we appreciate you coming on.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there one day. Okay. All right, Danny. Thanks, man.
No problem, brother. Peace. All right, we'll take one more caller. All right, Jay Steele, go ahead. We can't hear you.
Pan-African strike force.
We can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Nah. right, brother. What we'll do, we'll go ahead
See
and
if he
close
comes
out.
back on.
Kyle, let's go ahead and close out, Kyle. Let's go ahead and close. You got a minute. You got
Okay,
a
yeah.
minute.
Dice, put the link to my website to the chat room. You know, you got it.
What's the link?
www.bao africstan5.ning.com. I believe that's it. Let's see if I can get it. Hold up. Let's see if I can get it. Okay. Let's see. And like I said, folks, like I said, if you just want to be around Pan-Africanists and talk, building this movement, everything like that, you know, this is weird a place for it, you know. We're not, you know, it's BL Africstan, the number 5.ning.com.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Got it, cool. Well, brother, Kala, we appreciate you coming on, man.
I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate you having me anytime, you know. Anytime,
yes, sir.
You know,
yes, sir. With that being said, guys,
you want me to come by and everything like that Wednesday nights? You want to do Wednesdays again? I know, but you got your boy and everything like that. You always tired, man. I'm like, man, I'm all amped up, man. I'm ready to go and not Kala, man. You know, I know your boy comes first. Your son and family comes first, man.
Yes,
but
sir.
I'll be ready,
sir.
bro, on Wednesday night. So I'll be ready, bro.
Okay, yes, sir. Yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Go to dynastymirror.com. Go to amazon.com. Search Dynasty Mirror. Go to Africa, personified.africa. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mirror, search for Huru. Peace.
Peace. Good night.
Mm-hmm.